Tip number one is to break your studying into chunked sessions. And the reason for this is that the average student can only really pay attention for about 25 to 30 minutes. And this goes across the board from lectures to reading to studying. After about 25 to 30 minutes, your efficiency starts to really taper off. And that's why the advice to simply study more is not effective at all. Instead, you want to break your study sessions into about 20 to 30 minute chunks. And after those are done, take 5-minute breaks where you do something fun or at least away from your studies. And also, once your study sessions are done for the entire day, you want to give yourself a real tangible reward for doing it. As Dr. Lobdell says in the lecture, reinforcement of positive things builds good study habits, and as an added benefit, you're training yourself to study. So as you keep doing this, you're going to be able to study for longer and longer on each session. Tip number 2 is to create a dedicated study area. And the reason for this is that our environment, the context that we're in, largely determines our behavior. So think about when you're in class. When the professor presents a question to the entire class, you instinctively raise your hand. But if he asks you specifically, you're going to give a verbal response. And this is automatic. You're conditioned to do it. Well, your studying area is the exact same. If you do it in a place where you're conditioned to do other things like sleep or play video games or hang out with friends, it's going to be really hard to get into your studying. What you want to do is find an area that is specifically used for studying, so the context of the situation makes it easy for you to get into your studies. His third tip is to take more effective notes, and he's really brief on this one. After class, as soon as possible, and truly as soon as possible, flesh out your notes a bit. Add some more to them so you can actually solidify the concepts in your mind. And if you're fuzzy on something, ask another classmate who also took good notes, or go to office hours or wait to the next lecture and ask the professor before he starts if he can clarify something that you don't really have a good grasp on. The fourth tip is memorize or teach what you learn, and he says the best way to actually learn something is to teach it, and the reason for this is twofold. Number one, it's a great form of active studying because you're forcing your brain to recall all the information so you can basically summarize it for somebody, and number two, you're really making sure that you fully understand the subject. If you're explaining it to somebody who has absolutely no idea about the topic and they're coming at it from a beginner's perspective, then you're really going to have an easy time of pinpointing gaps in your understanding. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end of my video. Also, if you want to get new study tips every single week and ways to be an awesome college student, then just click the big red subscribe button.